Before the man, there was the boy, a playful soul with a football at his feet and curiosity in his eyes. He'd play again and again until his mother, half joking, half serious, would threaten, "No food if you go back to that field." But the boy, he always went back. He wasn't the quiet type. Never was. He was always inquisitive, energetic, and endlessly curious. Not molded after anyone. He had no major hero or person he wanted to be like, just a strong moral compass from his parents and a heart full of questions. At one point, he wanted to be a doctor, but that was just an occupation. Leadership was already in his bones from childhood. From the drama group to the choir, even as a child, he was seen and noticed. In school, one man left a mark, his Ghanaian math teacher. Alongside his uncle, they shaped a young boy's path, helping him conquer common entrance with grace and excellence. He wasn't a hardcore reader, but he had something better: encouragement. A quiet push from home, a spark that would later become a fire. His primary school education was in Mofolorunso International School, while his secondary school education was in Federal Government College, Ogbomosho. In JSS2, something changed. He became intentional and focused. He graduated secondary school, wrote JAM, and got into LAUTECH with a promise of sponsorship by an uncle. But life had other plans. That uncle never came through. But Mayowa, he kept moving. He found himself at Osun State Polytechnic, ND1, ND2, and yes, something divine happened. He didn't just become more intentional about studies, he became more intentional about God. After his national diploma, he was back in Lagos for his internship. He never returned for his HND. After his national diploma in computer engineering, he enrolled at CHS Institute to learn web designing. Just 3 months of learning and excellence was already speaking. So much so, he got his first side gig right there, training others in the same institute where he was once a student. Then came a moment that would change everything. His friend, Lanre Awoyemi, dropped his CV at a bank. An interview followed, and just like that, he landed his first job at Intercontinental Homes, a subsidiary of Intercontinental Bank, long before Access Bank came into the picture. And while most people saw it as just work, for him, it was preparation. From 2008 to 2013, everything changed. Working in a database department, he began to study successful people, not just admire them. He aligned, he grew and learned the value of sacrifice. One lesson stood tall: timeliness. He was always early, always ahead. That hasn't changed. Even now, as CEO, he arrives before most and never leaves until the day's task is done. Anything worth doing, he says, is worth doing well. He found home at Royalty Christian Center under the mentorship of Pastor David Adeoye. Over 13 years of consistent faith, service, and spiritual growth, he has served in nearly every department with zeal. He was once in the choir at RCCG for 10 years and now serves faithfully in the IT department at his current church. Today, he is in God's army raising men. His relationship with God has influenced every aspect of his life. His mother's discipline and insistence on church molded that devotion. And under the guidance of Rev. Olaoreda Gold, he learned that ministry isn't just a stage, it's a calling. For him, music allows him carry God's presence, and in that, a lot of his ideas has been birthed. His music ministry began with Spring Music, where he started Night of Expression, an atmosphere of worship. For 8 years, Night of Expression became a movement. He carried it beyond church walls into campuses, Osun State Polytechnic, TASWED, LASU, and many more across Lagos and beyond. God used him mightily, not just to sing, but to stir revival. No great man walks alone. A lot of people have played pivotal roles in his journey. starting with his amazing parents, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Motunrayo Owolabi, his wife, Damilola Mayowa Owolabi, his teachers in school, Reverend and Reverend Mrs. Olaoreda Gold, Lanre Awoyemi, his brother in friendship, Silas and Grace Omoloye, covenant friend and family, Pastor David and Pastor Sumbo Adeoye, Pastor Shegun Adewumi, his life coach, Dr. BC Oni, who is also the chairman of his company, Dr. Stephen Akintayo, who has also helped him have a clearer approach to business. Pastor and Pastor Mrs. BC Adewale, they have been of great help to his marriage. Dr. Olumide Emmanuel, who has been an amazing role model in his life when it comes to wealth creation. Okpeoluwa Oni, who showed him the path of real estate. Pastor and Pastor Mrs. Lekon Pokuola. These people are great people who have contributed to him in one way or another. And he likes to believe that everything he is right now is a result of the people in his life. Love found him when he least expected. A cancelled concert, a conversation, and then a call to minister in her church. After ministering in her church that night, he knew she was the one. Married to Damilola Mayowa Owolabi didn't just make him happy, it made him selfless. He often says, to build a strong marriage, you must die to yourself. Business wasn't a switch, it was a seed. Planted early when he managed his mother's canteen for 2 years. He learned cash flow before he knew what the term meant. But letting go of full-time music for entrepreneurship, that was hard. Balancing these two was the challenge. Over time, he overcame this challenge by studying the David pattern. A man of war, a man of worship. He found balance. Today, Mr. Mayowa Owolabi is not just building businesses, he is building legacies. Legacies that will solve problems for generations. He envisions a global enterprise, Mayowa Owolabi Group of Companies, with thousands of staff, changing lives across continents. Every day, he wakes up with one mission: help 1 billion people achieve financial freedom. Because for him, it's never been about titles. It's always been about impact. Happy 40th, Mr. Mayowa Owolabi. Your story has just begun.